All right. We're going to try something a little bit different. I think people like it when they get to see a face talking to them. I think it does something to your brain to where you, I don't know, care more. So please care. So I just am almost done with the day 4 of this week. So yeah, I think we're in, I don't even know anymore, week 1, week 2. This is day 4. So 5-3-1 program, same exact thing I've been doing for the last 2 months. And like I said last video, I'm liking these squats now because I'm not terrible at them. So anyways, just going to go through some things. All right, so it looks like it's week 1. Overhead press. All right, so day 1, overhead press. You know, I think a few weeks ago I had this 105 by 9 that I did. I don't know if that was like a fluke because I haven't been able to like replicate it since then. It might have been done, I think, with like different equipment, maybe different gym or something. So I'm not sure. But yeah, either way, I do still feel like I'm getting stronger. I did like 65 pounds on one of those sets and it just kind of flew up, kind of actually caught me off guard. But, you know, overhead press overall, I'm happy. My back's not hurting or anything. I used to do seated overhead presses back, I don't know, like the last couple of years probably, just because I was always worried that I would kind of overload my back with all of the lifting. But yeah, a couple days off. So I think here I'm lifting in the evening and then tomorrow as well. Should make for some good rest days. You know, I will say, so I've been thinking about it a little bit. And I guess the way that I'm treating it now is, man, I'm out of breath from these squats. But I think the way I'm treating it now is sleeping is kind of like having money, like having cash. So, you know, you could buy something on credit, but you're going to pay for it later. And with working out, you know, or with most, I guess, physical activities, you want to buy it in cash, you know. You want to come in having slept 8 hours and you want to give it your all and then sort of make sure you sleep like 8 hours that night as well. Because, yeah, you can come in on like 3-4 hours of sleep, have like a not so great training session, and then, you know, maybe not sleep well the next few days and just be tired for like 5-6 days. You'll get worse gains. You'll feel bad. And it's just, I don't know, it's like suboptimal, I guess. So, you know, it really does. It feels like I'm a responsible adult when I come into a session knowing I've eaten well, I've slept well, and I'm gonna sleep well. It's a very adult thing to do. And then let's see, after overhead press day 2, so deadlift. Okay, so I think the top set here was like 270 pounds, and I'm gonna say this, it seemed monumental. Like I can lift like 135, right? And it's not crazy, and you think, oh, okay, I wonder how much more I can do. You know, the first like millimeter of that 270 feels like heavy. And so while I'm doing this, the IWF, the weightlifting championships, just finished up. And yeah, I've been watching all the A sessions. So, you know, just kind of seeing a lot of clean and jerks, a lot of heavy lifts. And 270 in kilograms is 122 kilos. And it seems so heavy. And then when you think about what people are doing with that weight and you watch it, it's phenomenal. I'll talk more about that in a bit. But for this top set, you know, I did, you know, maybe it was because of the pull-ups that I did the day before, but I felt pretty tired. So, you know, I did the overhand grip and then, you know, it wasn't terrible grip-wise, right? I think I got through like 8 of those pulls with the normal grip, but then my grip is kind of the limiting factor on these last few reps. And I knew I was not going to let that be the limiting factor. So I think I did like 1 hook grip and then a couple with a mixed grip or alternating grip. So, you know, I'm happy with that. I think, you know, my grip should get stronger with time. And yeah, getting used to that hook grip. I always felt it would just like hurt my thumbs a lot, but it's not actually too bad. And then I'm going to leave this on. You know I can get something to help me deload the bar. But, you know, maybe this is just more volume, right? So Man. But anyways, I lifted more upright these last couple of weeks. Like I was saying, maybe less upper back than I usually do. So my hips are a little bit lower in the starting position. I definitely feel it more in the lower back. I think I'm going to continue it for now. I imagine as my squat gets stronger, then this will be a more like beneficial way to lift. So we'll see. And then, yeah, I mean, a little bit of a tangent here, but yeah, so I'm watching this like weightlifting competition, right? And I'm using AirPlay to go from my phone to the TV, and you know, it's playing on like the internet. But then if you go to a different website, like all the ads are video based. So if I'm just scrolling on a different website and an ad starts playing, it'll just like play on my TV, completely, you know, pushing away whatever I was watching before. So that's really frustrating. And this is my soapbox, so I'm just gonna say that. All right, day 3. And so, yeah, I switched from, I was supposed to work 2 day shifts and I switched to 2 night shifts to help someone out. And yeah, so I'm lifting a day later and it's so difficult, right? Because if you're working like days constantly, consistently, you know, hey, I'm going to get up at 5, I'm going to sleep at 10, it's going to be fine. But then when you have to shift to nights, then, you know, you're wondering, should I be trying to sleep later the night before? Should I wake up early and be tired throughout the day so I could take a nap right before I go back into work? That's kind of what I do, just to make sure that I get about as much sleep as I can before a night shift. But what that means is that throughout that entire day, you're basically exhausted, and it's frustrating because, like I said, you want to work out and you want to make progress. And in order to make progress, you have to sleep basically, and you have to be well rested. And it's just it's so counterproductive to making gains. But in any case, we got through it, so here we are. This top set for the bench. So I did 140 by 11. My posterior sort of came off the bench on that last one, and it felt like I was ripping my chest in half. That was a really heavy last couple of reps, but I'm happy I did it. I really didn't want to do less. You know, I do look at how many I did the week before, how many sets I did maybe a couple of weeks before, and in my head, you know, I know that I'm not gonna injure myself, right? But I know that I have a goal, I have a target, a minimum, I guess, that I'm trying to hit. Especially with me gaining, you know, a little bit of weight here and there, it just feels like, hey, you should be, you know, doing more. So psychologically, I don't know. Now, once you know that you can do something, you know that you can do a little bit more. And yeah, like I said, this entire week, basically, I feel like I've run out of energy. So these pull-ups, you know, I'm going to like basically a complete hang, and it definitely feels better. The total number of reps that I'm doing in all 5 sets, it's definitely gone up in the last couple of months, even with bad technique back then. But you know, it kind of wavers, so it's up, down, up, down. But I think the trend is definitely towards the, you know, end goal of 5 sets of 10. And once we do that, maybe we can add like 5 pounds or something, and yeah, we'll see. All right, and that brings us to today's session. Oh man, this is probably the longest session I've done because I've taken so many long breaks. So, you know, this is an investment for sure. And one of the biggest things is it's definitely nice to be able to rest as long as you need to on these in between sets. You know, I feel guilty if I go to the gym, there's like, you know, it's full and there's like 2 places to squat or something, and I take up one of those for even like 5 sets with like a minute in between, 2 minutes in between. That's a fair amount of time, right? So here, if I'm doing literally 8 sets of squats with an average of maybe 2 to 5 minutes of rest in between, I mean, that's a significant amount of time. So that's not really something that you can do, I think, in a busy gym. And so, you know, it's definitely beneficial to have something like this. Obviously, you don't need to have, I mean, especially at the weights I'm lifting, right? Like this is overkill, but it is definitely beneficial to have something like this. And then, yeah, I hit 175 pounds for 10 reps. I'm pretty happy about that. So yeah, just to kind of go over some numbers here, I'm gonna look off camera. So this setting, or this day 4, right? I lifted a grand total of 13,700 pounds just, this session. So that just kind of goes to show you how much productivity I could add to the world that I'm not. It's going right here. So interesting stuff. I do wonder, if you got everybody in a gym and instead of, lifting how they're lifting, you connected it all to like some giant exercise treadmill or some hamster wheel connected to a turbine, what could you power? And then just going through some of those IWF numbers. Yeah, so women's 45 kilogram category, right? Lightest category. That is 99-pound people. And the winning snatch attempt was 78 kilograms, or that is 172 pounds. So the weight that I squatted about, like 175, right? For my little top set here. Like somebody who weighs like 70 pounds less than me took that weight and just did that. That's absolutely ridiculous. And then, yeah, so with my weight, maybe a little bit weighing a little bit more than me, is the men's 81 kilogram category. So just as like a comparison, right? Those guys, the winning snatch was 358 pounds, right? 358 pounds, just straight up. The winning clean and jerk was 459 pounds. Like just front squat 460 pounds and then press. And yeah, there were a lot of good lifts. I've never actually seen any of these competitions before. I think I watched some Olympic weightlifting highlights like during the actual Olympics every now and then, but I never really understood what was happening. I think over the last few months, just through YouTube videos, YouTube channels, right, I've kind of gotten into at least understanding the sport, sort of like F1, right? It's not like I'm driving F1 cars or, clean and jerking or anything, right? But you can still appreciate what's going on. And yeah, by being able to sort of appreciate the sport, the things that happen outside of the lifting platform a little bit more, it's pretty entertaining. So I watched every single A session this time, and yeah, just phenomenally strong people. And there's so much riding on everything, and yeah, just going through I could go through the categories, but really in every basically session, there were absolutely amazing lifts. The women's especially was pretty consistent, I feel, maybe up until the end. And yeah, just the pressure of performing on that stage and what that means for each of those athletes, absolutely crazy. So in any case, this was week 1, I guess, maybe 2, I don't know. I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully this format sparks something in you and pursue those hobbies. All right, one thing I forgot to say, song of the week, musics of the week, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 soundtrack. Yeah, I don't really have to say anything more there. Big part of my childhood, I guess. Never skateboarded in my life. Tried to do some inline stuff, but that apparently went away. So anyways, let me know, you guys, what your favorite pre-2010 video game workout music is, and we'll reminisce.